Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another new video, and today I'm just going to be showing you guys a tutorial of how to do these simple photo edits of pretty much any photo you want, like either an athlete or whatever. So you can definitely see the difference between this original photo and the edited one. So first what you're going to want to do is if you have the Topaz Labs plugin, you're going to want to add a little bit of denoise to the photo. And if you don't have it, it's just an option. You don't really need it for the edit. So I'll put it on 15. 15 looks about good. Just wait for that to process out. Sometimes takes a little bit, but especially for the denoise option. Okay, sorry about that. And then next, you're going to want to go to Adjust. Alright, and then go to the HDR Collection tab over here. And then click on Dynamic Pop. And then go to Adaptive Exposure. And then turn that down to about 19. Looks about good here. And then just click OK. And wait for that to process out too. And you're going to want to do this after you pen tool whatever your subject photo is out. So you can see I have the background layer separated from the PNG layer. So next what you're going to want to do is find the light source of the photo, so where all the light is coming from. So on this photo you can see the highlights of his body are on more of the left side of his body, like right around here and over here, rather than over here. So what you're going to want to do is get your brush tool, get a soft brush, and put it at about, depending on what the size of the photo is, put it about, for here 4,000 looks good, but this is a pretty large photo, so you might want to just adjust that. And then you're going to want to just get one click. Oh, that's on black, sorry about that. You're going to want to put it on white. And then, alright, and then put maybe one over here. Alright, and that looks pretty good. And then you can mess with the opacity, maybe put it on soft light. I'll just keep that on normal and turn the opacity down to about 70%. And that just pretty much enhances, just makes it a little more intense, the lighting of the photo. Okay, and then next what you're going to want to do is make a new layer, and then create a clipping mask to the PNG of your player, or whatever subject photo you have. So, and then after you clipping mask it, get another white brush, and wherever you see the highlights on the photo, just put a little bit of brush over it. So over here, there's on his face, there's a little bit, so you're going to want to add, just on a big soft brush, just tap pretty lightly on just right on the edges. You don't want to do it right here, because you don't want it all on each, on every, each place on the picture. So you just want it on the edge where all the highlights are. And then you can either put that on, keep that on normal and lower the opacity, or put it on soft light. So I'm just going to see how soft light looks. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep it like that. And then next, what you're going to want to do is the same thing, but with the shadows of the picture. So for this one, what you're gonna want to do is just find pretty much each shadow. So pretty much in the folds of the jersey, under his nose. So I'm gonna do that, and clip and mask this under a new layer too. And make your brush size pretty small. So I'm gonna put that about maybe about 40. Alright. And you can use the square bracket keys in your keyboard to make your brush larger and smaller. It's pretty convenient. So, yeah, on each shadow, you want to turn your opacity up to 100, just so you can adjust it when you need to. So you're just going to put one about right there, under his eyes maybe, in his ear, and then under his nose, and then put this all on soft light. And then, see, it looks way too strong there, so you're going to want to turn about your opacity down to about 30. Looks pretty good. So you're going to want to do this for about every place in the photo. Oh, that's an overlay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so maybe you want like right here where there's the fold and is right in the collar. So you don't want to just, it's kind of sloppy, but whatever. Put that on soft light too, lower the opacity, and then you can, yeah, just mess around with the blend modes. It'll look better just depending on the photo and like the colors of it. So on each fold, you're going to want to do one, make a new layer for that just so you can adjust it. Just under each shadow of the jersey. Sometimes it takes a little while, but it definitely makes it look good. That should be good. Okay. So, and then sometimes what I do is Gaussian blur the lines, the shadows that you make, just a little bit. It makes it kind of pretty clean. Usually just on the jersey, because on the face sometimes it looks kind of bad, but... Alright, now I'm just going to put that on soft light too, and lower the opacity to about... for this, about 46 or 50, it would probably look pretty good. And then, see, so on, as you can see on the right side, it's definitely much darker than the left, so you want to enhance those too, with just the same way you did with the highlights on this side, you want to do it with the shadows. So put it on black, on a pretty big brush, and then just use the bracket key to adjust it, and then on another new layer, clipping masked, just want to keep going around on the edges. Alright, and you put that on soft light as well. And then maybe adjust that a little bit. So that looks pretty good. And then, so next what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your adjustment layers. So the first thing I usually do is go to gradient map, black and white. And if it looks like this, just click on the reverse button, and then put it on soft light. So you can mess around with all these. You can put it on like overlay. That looks a little too strong for this one, but soft light usually looks pretty good. But then I'll lower the opacity to about 25 or 30. Looks pretty good. So it just adds a little bit more contrast to the photo and makes your lighting a little bit more, a little more intense. So then next, what I do usually is go to color lookup, and then foggy night 3DL, and see it looks, kind of makes it a little like darker, add some color to it, and then I usually keep it on normal and lower the opacity to about 40 looks good for here. Yeah. And then next, add a curves layer, and then make it a pretty simple S. So what this does is pretty much the lower this goes, the darker your shadows will be. The pretty much higher this goes, the lighter the highlights will be. So for this it looks pretty strong. So want like a simple S curved type. Oh, sorry, I'll turn my phone off. Okay, sorry about that. And then next, what I like to do is get black and white, little black and white adjustment right under, where is it? Right under color balance, and then keep it on normal, and then just lower the opacity to usually about 20% or so, 25% looks good. That just pretty much lowers the saturation, it looks pretty clean. So, next, let me look at the color correction I used on this one. And if you want to buy this exact color correction group, it's in my graphics pack, and I'll leave the link to that below. But what I usually do is put on a blue to orange one on softlight, and I'll drag that into this just to save some time. And it just adds a little more, kind of makes it just gives it a real clean, colorful look. And I'll put that under the black and white just so it kind of all blends a little better. Alright, so you can put all of these layers in a group if you'd like, just to keep your document a little more organized. So I'll group that and I'll name it adjustment layers. Alright. So next thing you want to do is you can do this earlier. It doesn't really matter when you do it, but just if your background is padlock, just click the little padlock right here and unlock it. And then you're going to want to go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and then put it at about this is a pretty high res photo, so you're going to want to put it a little higher, but just put it about a slight, not too much like this, but you're going to want it about 5 or 6 looks pretty good. It just kind of makes it pop a little more, like blend in with the photo a little more, and just make it pop out and stand out. Okay, so now that you've done that, you're going to want to add some text. So let me just see what fonts I used for this one. So you're just going to want to put the name of the players, and this is, so his name is Dimitri Payet, so I'm going to want to put, for the first name I usually use a lighter font, and Inversions Unboxed Regular usually looks pretty good for this type of design, so you can just look that up online, probably on defont.com. So Dimitri, and then you can either make it, I made a typo here, but you can either make it pretty much whatever color you want. So for this, I'm just going to make it white. I think that'll just look a little better with the design. And then I can move it to, you can pretty much move it wherever. I'll put it in the corner. So I'm going to make another text layer, and for the last name, I'll use EA font by Ghetto Shark. You can just probably look that up on Defont too. So I'll put it a little bigger than the first name because you kind of want the last name to stand out more. So Payet, and then you can hit Control T to transform it. And I like to hit Shift and Alt just so you don't stretch it like this. You don't want to make the font all stretched out too much. You kind of want to keep it in its normal form. So you want to hit click Shift and then Alt at the same time, and it'll pretty much make it bigger from the center, just to keep its proportions the same. So you can pretty much here. Let me pull my. So if you want to pull your guides up, what you're gonna want to do is just make a new layer, fill. Oh, sorry about that. And then Control T, and you'll see the center, and then just hit Control R to turn your rulers on and off, and then just put one horizontally. Oh, and to turn on your guides, you just want to put on Control or Command colon, and then put one horizontally, and then one vertically, and then you'll find your center point. So and then you can delete this layer. So you're just going to kind of center these up. You can hit Control T just to get the center of this, and then kind of center it. Okay, that's already. Sometimes it automatically centers, but sometimes it's a little weird, but that's fine. And then what you're going to want to do next with the text is add a layer style. So I'll start with this. So you're going to want to do a gradient overlay. So this settings, I already have them on here, but you're going to want to do a black to white, with the black being at the bottom. Put it on normal at about 20%. And if you want to copy these settings down, just feel free. And then add a drop shadow. Where is it? Sorry about that. Okay, there it is. I already have these settings in here too, so if you want to copy these down too. So just put it on normal, whatever angle looks good. 30 looked about good for me. Put the size up however much you want. I like it a little stronger personally, but it just depends on all the design and the look you're going for. So the distance, the spread, you can put these all at the same as me if you want the same look. So you're going to want to right click once you're done with that. Right click on this, and then click copy layer style. So, and then you're going to want to go to the other text and then just paste it on there. So it's the exact same. So, and then if you have like a team logo for the athlete or whatever, you're just going to want to, I like to put it behind them. So he plays for West Ham. So I'm just going to go into this, the past one, and then grab the logo. You're going to want to make sure it's a PNG though, just so you don't have the white outlines around it, or the black box or whatever. So put it right behind your text, and then just kind of center it with it. And so the drop shadow, and you can throw these in a group too if you'd like, and just name that text. Alright, and then one final thing you're going to want to do, and you can just place the text wherever you want. But one final thing you're going to want to do is make a new layer over everything. And then just enhance, so since there's light on this side and then darkness on this side, you're just going to want to get a big white brush on this side and just pretty much get it really big. And then put it on soft light. And then you can lower the opacity to your liking. And about 35 looks good for me. And then on the right side, you want to do the same thing, but with black. So you can put that on soft light. That's really dark, so you're just going to want to put it about the same as this one, so about like 30-40%. That looks pretty good. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial today.